Hello everybody, and a lot of people have been asking why I haven't posted League of Legends recently, and this video is to explain why and to kind of just go on a little journey with me that I've been going on with League of Legends for the past, I would say 2 weeks or so. So the main reason that the only reason that I haven't been posting on League of Legends is because I've been grinding ranked super hard, maybe playing for 6 to 8 sometimes 10 or 12 hours a day, trying to get to gold before the end of the season ends. Now that they've added 2 weeks, I didn't need to grind as hard as I did, but that's why I haven't been uploading, because when I'm playing ranked, I don't really talk that much, and I don't think that you guys just want to watch a video of me basically being silent for most of it. I mean, I wouldn't be completely silent. I of course comment on what's going on, but I don't really explain what I'm doing. I'm just trying to focus on the game, and that's my main priority. I mean, if you guys do want to see some ranked games where I am talking in it, feel free to let me know. Just don't get mad at me if I'm being super quiet. So that's the reason why I haven't been uploading League of Legends. I've just been really focused on getting to gold, because that Elise skin, man, that Elise skin had to be mine. Elise is my favorite jungler right now. She's the jungler I feel the most comfortable on, so to not have that skin would be a travesty and a crime against humanity. But I have actually reached gold. I've reached the promised land. So now that I have reached my goal, I will be uploading a lot more League of Legends, a lot more frequently, duo lanes, normal games, ranked games. So yeah, you can look forward to a lot more League of Legends. But now that I've explained why I haven't been uploading, let me just explain what this game is. First of all, this is a ranked game that I played yesterday. Obviously I'm playing as the Sona, and Zyra ended up rage quitting, I guess because she was getting owned entirely too hard by me and Vayne. And then after Zyra rage quit, the entire enemy team basically decided to not play anymore before 20 minutes hit, so they couldn't surrender. So that's the game that you're going to be watching, and I just wanted to share with you guys my experience of climbing through silver into gold and playing in gold, because I've experienced playing in gold for a little while now, and yeah, just share it with you and maybe drop some knowledge on you guys for anyone that is in silver or even in bronze and are trying to reach gold before the end of the season. So I started my journey trying to reach gold at silver 3, I believe it was, and I got from silver 3 to silver 1 in I think 2 or 3 days. It was 3 days at the very most. So at that point I was like, damn, I'm gonna get to gold in like a week at the very most. It's not gonna take me long at all. But then when I got to silver 1, the LP that I was getting per win slowly started dropping. I started at like 25, then it went to 20, then it went to 15, then it went to 10, then it went to 5, and then eventually it got to the point where I was getting 2 LP per win, which is absolutely ridiculous. I was at I think 85 league points, and I had to win 8 games to get to 100 to get into my series so I could be promoted to Gold 5. So that was incredibly annoying. Oh, and by the way, I went through 4 series. It took me 4 times to actually get into promos before I actually got gold, which was extremely depressing, because some of those times were games that we should have won, man, but my team just decided that they wanted to throw. So sometimes that happens. Sometimes there's just games that you cannot win, and that's something I think people really need to understand. Sometimes, regardless of how good you are, games are just not winnable, whether it's because you have a DC, an AFK, or Rager. Oh god, Ragers. I have experienced so many rages throughout my time climbing through ranked. It's actually really sad. I've had very many times where someone on my team basically decided that the game was over 4 minutes into the game because their lane wasn't going exactly the way they wanted it to go, because they were having a bad game. They didn't want to try and win whatsoever, and that is the wrong attitude to have if you want to get anywhere in League of Legends. And while we're on the topic of attitude, this is actually something that I definitely do want to touch on, because attitude, I would say, is the most important thing to actually make you win games, because I have been in so many games. Actually, it's extremely rare that I just had a game that is just easy. Like this game, these games were extremely rare. Usually we had to fight, the enemy had to make mistakes, we had to constantly be on the top of our game in order to win the game. Now if you have a negative attitude and your lane's going well, maybe you're making some mistakes, you get frustrated and you go on tilt, you're not going to be able to win the game. There's no way that you're going to be able to pull that game back, because you already are feeling like you are defeated. I had games, I actually had one game where we only had our Nexus left. All of our Nexus turrets were gone, all of our everything everything was gone. We literally just had our Nexus and we ended up winning that game. Now, something that you guys have to really keep in mind is that this is solo queue, especially if you're in silver, gold, bronze. People make mistakes all the time because they're good players, but they're not the greatest players in the world. So if you're losing, all you have to do is wait for the enemy team to make a mistake and then you capitalize on it. And it happens all the time, especially when a team is doing very well, because they start to overestimate their own power and underestimate the enemy team. They start to feel like they're invincible, they start to feel like they're a god, and they'll start doing dumb stuff. All you have to do is wait for them to do that, capitalize on it, and freaking end the game. When you get into late game, they have stupid long death timers, so if you ace them or you just catch somebody out who is thinking that they're Jesus, you can win the game and you can bring it back. So please do keep that in mind, guys. Having the right attitude is super important. There are games that seem like you could never win that are perfectly winnable if you communicate with your team and you keep the right attitude. Now, one question that I see people ask a lot is it better to duo or is it better to play solo when you're trying to climb ranked? And I basically have two different answers because I think both of them are equally as good to climb ranked. But in terms of duo, it really depends on who you have to choose to duo with, because someone being a good player is not good enough. You want to find someone that has really good map awareness, really good decision making, and someone that has the right attitude. I know I keep saying it all the time, but it's so important. It's so important. I duoed a lot with my good friend Jake. Now, he is an amazing League of Legends player, but the main reason why I always wanted to duo with him is because he's fun to play with. He never gets super frustrated and ends up going on tilt, so we can always keep the right attitude and just talk to the team, communicate with them in order to bring home the win. So that's really important. If you do have someone, a friend or whoever it may be, that you can duo with that is a good player and does not rage, definitely duo with them, because it can work. It can work really well. You guys can help each other out. It limits the variables of not having good players on your team. If you're both good players and you both have a good attitude, then you will usually end up doing pretty well. Now, when it comes to the roles that I played in order to climb ranks, I played mostly support. That wasn't due to choice, and don't get me wrong, I do actually really enjoy playing support because I understand how important that role is. I main jungle and I main support, so I had no problem playing with it. But the reason why I constantly had to support was because I was last pick, because I was usually duoing with someone who had a higher elo than me, so I was always last pick. So yeah, I usually ended up supporting, but that just shows you guys that you can climb ranked regardless of what role you play. If you know your role well and you play it well, you will end up climbing rank. This is a fact, and that's a fact that I love to stick by. I don't think that it's positive, or I don't think that it is beneficial to you to believe in elo hell. Just believe that if you're a good player, you're gonna end up climbing. If you don't belong in the division or the league that you're in, you're going to constantly keep on climbing. So I think I played like 40 Janna games or something ridiculous. I played so much support, and it's actually really funny because when I was in my series to get promoted to gold, the last 2 games I ended up jungling, which was sweet because I love the jungle. I love being on my own, running around in the jungle and not having to worry about a stupid angry AD carry who gets pissed off because he sucks. Yeah, it's nice. And I did actually have to play Corki in one game, and I had support, runes, and masteries because me and the support were gonna switch. We were gonna switch, and the League of Legends client wouldn't let us switch, so I had to play Cork, and we actually ended up winning that game. I got carried so hard in that game. I basically just didn't die. I was like, I'm just gonna farm and not die, and maybe I can reign victorious. So yeah, I mostly played support, also played jungle, and that is basically how I climbed. It's perfectly possible that all of you guys out there who are in silver or in bronze can reach gold before the end of the season. Just make sure to stay positive, constantly play just to get better. Don't necessarily play with the goal in mind of reaching gold. Just play because you want to become a better player. Take note of your mistakes. Don't constantly blame your team. Of course, sometimes your team messes up, and it's perfectly fine to accept the fact that they mess up, but you concentrating on how you can improve as a player is going to benefit you a lot more than just saying, oh, my team's so bad, oh my god, this Riven's feeding. It's going to benefit you more to look at your play and understand what you can do better. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I will make sure to have some more League of Legends coming to you guys shortly, both live commentary and post commentaries, and I will speak to you guys later. Bye.